I married him just for the papers, but the night before our divorce, he kissed me like he meant it, and everything changed. Asterisk, I never believed in fairy tales or happy endings, especially not as an immigrant trying to keep my life afloat. In a city like London, where every dream came with a price tag, I married Oliver Radcliffe, my cold, brilliant boss, not out of love, but necessity. I needed a way to stay in the country, and he needed to look more stable for a corporate promotion. It was meant to be a business deal, nothing more. 1 year of fake smiles, staged photos, and polite distance. We signed the agreement in his penthouse office, with no witnesses but the rain outside. I thought I could handle it. I thought I was smart enough to keep my heart out of it. For the first 6 months, it was easy. We barely spoke unless it was work-related, and even at home, he was all deadlines and silence. But things began to shift the night I sprained my ankle at the tube station. He showed up, unasked, carried me home in his arms like I weighed nothing, and stayed up all night icing my foot and making me laugh, something I hadn't done in months. From that night, I saw glimmers of someone I'd never noticed before, a man who played the piano when he thought no one was listening, who remembered I liked mint tea, who once whispered, "You don't deserve to feel unwanted," when I cried. In my sleep, but I kept reminding myself this wasn't real. I couldn't afford to believe it. The months passed, and with the home office inspection out of the way, the contract was nearly complete. We agreed to file for divorce on the exact anniversary of our wedding, but the day before, Oliver asked me to have dinner. "One last act," he said with a crooked smile. I wear the same navy dress from our wedding night, not for him, I told myself, but for closure. The dinner was quiet, elegant, and filled with pauses too long to be professional. Then, as we stood outside the restaurant in the rain, he leaned in and kissed me. It wasn't staged, it wasn't for show. It was hesitant, then deep, then desperate, like he'd been holding it back for a year. When I pulled away, I saw it in his eyes. Not the boss, not the agreement, but the man. "I don't want to sign those papers," he whispered. I didn't reply. I couldn't. I ran. That night, I lay awake, thinking of every touch, every look, wondering if I had imagined it all. The next morning, I walked into his office with the divorce papers in hand and saw him standing there, torn pages in his. "I'm not letting you go," he said. "Not like this." My heart leapt, then crashed when I saw a woman step out from behind him. Elise, his ex. She'd come back, and he'd been seeing her. The kiss, the dinner, was it guilt? I dropped the papers, humiliated, and left. For days, I heard nothing, until one evening, Oliver appeared at my flat, soaked and breathless. She came back. Yes, but I didn't take her back. I couldn't, because it's you. It's been you since the day you corrected my typos and rolled your eyes. I laughed through tears, remembering that moment. Then why didn't you say anything? He looked down, ashamed, because I thought you only needed me for the visa. I didn't want to risk hoping. I looked at the papers again, unsigned, then at him, and I kissed him first this time. 3 years later, we renewed our vows in that same restaurant, only now it wasn't staged. It was real messy, flawed, and perfect. And as we danced under the same London rain, I whispered, "I married you for the papers, but I stayed for the love."